Hey everybody, welcome to the current week. So this week we're going to be talking about layout a little more. We're going to learn how to create custom templates of our own. Last week we touched on some of the automatic templates available in Word, but creating your own is pretty easy, and it's great if you do want to have that sort of level of control over your own document. So we've already gotten the essentials of layout under our belts, and knowing that these basic foundations is just essential in creating your template, because once you know exactly what sort of look you want, Word makes it pretty easy for you to save a template and reuse it over and over. So why would you create a custom template? Oh, say you have a company that wants all of its say it wants all of its reports done in a certain style with a certain font size, a certain background, certain image setup. You might want to set those up and save it as a template so you can pull it up and start working on your document without having to worry about all of these specific formatting preferences every time. It just takes some of that extra work out. In fact, depending on the company you work for, it might already preset some of those, have templates, set up for you, for employees, so they can just go and get the style they need and do that. Or say, if you're more creative, doing a more creative project, if you're doing a series of books, if you're an author and you're self-publishing a series of books or stories, um, getting your layout for your books set up ahead of time and making sure all those books across the series have a consistent look and feel, it's a good way to build your brand, put out some quality work. So you can set up a template, have that work for all of your books. So I'm going to just do a very quick little layout for you. Um, so let's do Arial. Then I'm going to set it as 11. Take the bold out. Let's see. So I've designated a different font than I usually use. I'm going to insert page number. I'm going to put in a table, because you can actually save tables as part of your template. And this is another good one. Say you're a freelancer, you can actually set up your invoices, save those as a template, and you can just pull it up and enter, what you want in there. I'm gonna put in a quick page border. Again, this is not necessarily something you want. Why did that page border not go in? But again, it's just something to try. Huh, that's weird. I'm not getting a border. After I put this in. Well, that's not working. It worked the first time I ran this video, but I hadn't put the table in. But the table is more important anyway, so let's just not worry about it. But so you see, I've set up what kind of font I want. I've set up a heading the way I want the heading. In fact, I'll just make the heading a little bigger. And yes, I've got my table in there. We've got a page number. So again, very simple. So then we go to Save As, however you want to get there. I'm just going to save this into my documents as okay, so I've typed in my file name, making it really easy for me to find. So what's important is you have to save this as a template, not as a Word document. So we have here Word template and 97 to 2003 template. Generally, if you are using 2007 or higher, you should really just save it as a Word template and not the template in the old format, because that can still cause some issues with formatting and compatibility. Some of your formatting can get screwed up. It technically shouldn't, but it does. So save it just as a regular Word template. And it's trying to save it into custom Office templates. I really just want it to be in my documents. So the first time I did this video, I actually couldn't find my file because it had saved it to custom office templates and I couldn't find it. But I just want it to be in my documents. If you want it to go somewhere else, you can. But I have it, so it's just going here. Now I hit save. So now what happens? So we got a template. To use it, I'm going to go into, so now here's my template. There's the file. To use it, open it. So now you have to type something. And now see it's opened it as document 4, so it's opened it as a brand new document. That's important to keep in mind. So we've saved it in here under this file name. Because it's a template, it's just opened as a fresh document. So I've typed some things in here. Anyway, I've typed in my new data. I've typed in some text. Now hit save. It's taking me to save as. I'm just going to save it to my documents again. So it's actually having me save it as a Word document. It's not resaving it as a template. From that template, and so now I have, so I'm typing in the file name, so it saved it. Now there's the file name, it saved it as a demo, as an actual document. So if I go in and open this new document again, or that's the demo I just opened. So if I open the template again, look, there's a blank template, and it's saved as document 5. So basically when you've saved, when you're working in a template, it recognizes that you're putting new content in, and it should be saved as its own second document. So something else I want to point out is that you can create a template that is macro enabled. If you want your template to have macros attached to it, you will need to save it in this format. So let's see. So basically all that work we did with macros last week, those won't work. Those won't carry. I talked about how if you save them to a certain location, they'll attach to all of your documents. But if you want your templates to have macros attached, you'll actually need to save it as a macro-enabled document, because unlike regular Word docs, macros don't automatically attach to templates. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to again specify to save this as a macro-enabled template. And that is how macros will be able to run on it. So if you plan on using macros, not everyone's planning on using macros beyond the scope of what we worked on in class last week, but if you are, you have to actually save this option. So now I actually want to draw your attention again back to our building blocks organizer, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this, and I can't find it in 2013. Sorry. Anyway, I want to get actually back to our building blocks, and because building blocks can be saved and distributed again with templates, and this comes in handy. So we were talking about saving things again as normal, and you'd be able to access them on any document, but again, that just refers to standard Word documents. It doesn't necessarily apply to templates. So let's see. I'm going to open my template. So basically we would do this is, say you want to store some building blocks to a template and send that template to someone else so they can use that template as well, then they'd be able to do it. So I've opened this original template that I've created. I'm going to change some stuff around. So I'm going to make this blue. And we're just going to, let's see. I'm going to make something analogous to, say, fine print, and I'm actually going to make it tiny. So, let's see. So now we want to save, so I want to save this to my building blocks organizer, which I very foolishly can't find. Okay, explore quick parts. So, building blocks organizer, here we go. So, let's see. So used to doing this on 2010. My apologies. There. Save selection to the quick parts gallery. Gallery. Yes. We're gonna put it in quick parts. Save in. Okay. So this is what's really important. So I'm saving this to the quick parts gallery. Fine print. We're gonna call it fine print. Save in. So here is, this is where if I were saving it on any other day, I would save it to building blocks. That's not what we want. We don't want to save it to normal. We want it to save it to the specific template. We want to save to the template. That is, we have to do that. Otherwise it won't attach to the template. Save and close. Okay, so go save. I'm also going to, let's see. I'm going to add this as well. We're going to create a part. And again, don't save to building blocks, save to the template. So then we can just save and close the document. We just can close the document. Because now we actually have this, oops. Let's not do this. So now we actually have to go and resave this as a new separate document, which is kind of inefficient, but you know, sometimes software does not run as smoothly as it could. So no, not in custom office templates. I get lost when I try to do that. So we're gonna save this again as yeah, we'll just save that as a, no, let's not save it as a macro name. You don't actually need to save this as a macro name, so I'll just save that as a template. Save it. So I popped up that warning because I hadn't actually gone to save the document, and if you don't actually go and formally save the document, these things won't attach, they'll just sort of be deleted. So then, you know, you can distribute your template via email or whatever, and your building block will work. Important note that you need to send the actual template, not a document you saved while creating the building block. So that's that. Send the actual template. That's all there is, and email me questions if you have them. Have a great week.